Meanwhile, on the other side of 25 Slays of Christmas, in the not-too-distant future.
Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time.
The Chase and Shep Show with Shep and Chase.
That should be good.
Isn't it so nice to be done with the 25 Slays of Christmas?
It is very nice to be done with the 25 Slays of Christmas. And if you joined us on that, we thank you, because it was hard to do.
It was a lot. It was a lot of shit, man.
It was a lot, but it was fun to do. It was definitely something I've been wanting to do. So I'm glad to do something like that, just like, a good chunk of videos all at once, 1 month. Yeah. Let's do it. So I think that's something we definitely need to plan for the future.
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be more themed like blocks of stuff like that, like we just did.
Oh yeah, but
until then,
you get this right here, the Chase and Shep Show.
The Chase and Shep Show
with
Shep in all its glory.
Hey,
wow.
There you go. There we go. We're here, man, and we're coming at you. I guess this is a little preview episode we're gonna do. I guess
this is just us pretending like the 25 Slays is over, and coming at you with a sneaky peek of season 2 of Chase and Shep.
We got together the other night and we decided to watch a brand new movie for 2020.
Yeah,
the only blockbuster this year.
The only movie in theaters in 2020. Tenet. Christopher Nolan's Tenet. I got one word for you. Tenet.
Don't even. And it's going to
open a lot of doors for you if you choose to use it ever, which he doesn't. So let's get into it, dude.
Maybe a sequel.
Tenet is one of those things that, like, in 2020, I just happened to watch almost like all of Christopher Nolan's movies.
Right.
I was a few shy, but I watched the whole like Dark Knight trilogy. I watched Memento. Dunkirk. I saw Dunkirk for the first time.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that was his war epic. Because I told you last night with this, I was like, he's definitely trying to like tick the boxes of like every epic he can get under his belt. This was his spy epic. Dunkirk was his war epic. He's had his superhero epic in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Love you, Bats.
You got his space epic, Interstellar.
That was pretty good.
I don't know what you want to call Inception, but it's epic too. So I mean, everything this guy does is epic. Even his small scale movies like Memento with Guy Pearce.
Memento.
That one's crazy, and they're all mind-boggling. But the thing is, I can follow all of those movies. Like, I never had a hard time. Even Dunkirk gets like a little crazy with the time shit, because it's 3 different stories that, like, the way it's told is very unconventional. Like, I definitely recommend watching it. Like, it's a cool visual like movie, like Christopher Nolan is known for. But with this one, man, he lost me like a motherfucker. I had not a goddamn clue the heads or tails of what the fuck was going on from moment to moment in this movie. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, you lost me. We've gone through some crazy time shit, and I love shit like this. I write shit like this that's like about the crazy time shit and everything like that. So I'll definitely.
I was very, very lost.
It takes a lot to confuse me, man. And Christopher Nolan did it. And I feel like that's been his goal for years, is like to finally just be like, make the most confusing movie of all time.
I did not know what the fuck was going on. I still don't quite know what the hell was all happening in that movie, but I think I got somewhat of a gist on it.
Yeah.
But it's still like.
I almost watched this one time before you and I sat down to watch it, just so that when you and I watch it, I would have seen it twice before we reviewed it, so that maybe I could have fucking like understood something a little better. It's definitely one that's gonna like, I'm definitely gonna have to sit down and watch it again sometime, because like, I think I watched a good movie. Right. Like, I think some cool shit happened, but there's that one scene where she starts explaining everything that's like the inverse time shit, and she's explaining all this, and then she literally caps it off by going, "Don't even try to understand it." And I go, bet. Like, don't worry about it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, how does that make you feel as an audience member when it's just like, but fuck you, don't worry about
this. This is kind of it. You don't get it, don't understand it.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
don't have to.
But that's not important. It's like, what do you mean it's not important?
Like
This was a little
I got it by the end of it. I kind of got what was going on, but like I said, it was still just weird, just
Yeah.
all out weird. Because like you see these people moving in reverse, essentially.
Yeah.
So you try to wrap your head around the concept of how can you fight somebody that knows what's going to happen before it happens,
Mhm.
like, but they don't know it's going to happen before it happens.
I was left with a lot of questions for sure.
Because like the way you would shoot people is not by shooting a bullet through their head or
It's
something like
catching the
that.
bullet back into the gun, which is, I mean,
So
there's a
you'd
lot.
have to line their head up. You'd have to line their head up with the bullet hole. So it's like
Yeah.
as long as you avoided bullet holes, you wouldn't get shot.
I guess so. Hey, don't fucking. There's a bullet hole over there. Yeah.
Because the one I know, I mean, I guess spoilers, but the one thing that I did notice was because when they was like by the end of it when they were going back in time and you had the main character, he kept looking at the inside of his arm and he kept like at first it was like an itch and then the
Mhm.
guy's like, the Batman, Robert Patterson, he was like, "Is your arm okay?" And he's like, "I don't know, I don't think so." But then like in that whole sequence when they're in the ship container, he keeps fucking with his arm more and then you see this big bruise, but then later on when he's traveling in reverse, that's where his character gets stabbed in the arm
Yeah.
right there and it comes in through reverse. So it's like for a few days he kind of like looks at his arm and knows he's going to get stabbed for
Yeah.
a few days. You're going to get stabbed. You don't know by who or when, but
Mhm.
you know it's going to happen because the healed wound
Because it's already
already
happened. But you
it's
know what?
already
That's
unhealing.
what he says all the time too. He's like, "What's happened has happened."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like that's what I kept looking at you the whole time we were watching this movie, and like when they'd go into a place and see themselves coming out of the place in reverse, I'm like, oh, well, that must be comforting going into a place knowing, okay, well, if I'm coming out in
Right.
reverse, I obviously made it through here.
Right.
But I guess that's not always the case. So I don't know.
It's definitely one that
Lots of timelines in this one.
I'm gonna have to definitely watch again because, like, I was like falling asleep through it too, like, and that doesn't usually usually I'm pretty tired if I start falling asleep during a movie, and there at the end I'm just nodding off, especially because oh my god, Christopher Nolan just throwing so much at me.
Yeah.
It's just like you're asking a lot of me right now, dude.
I,
That's some heavy shit.
I did enjoy the soundtrack in it though.
Bro, and
Big time.
at the end, because I was waiting to see who did the music. I didn't know if Hans Zimmer did this again, and it was Ludwig Göransson that does. He did the Black Panther
Nice.
score, and he's been doing the Mandalorian. Bro, his music is next level. He's definitely
That's what's up.
he's gonna be the next like legendary composer. If
Yeah, he did
isn't
really
already.
good. He did really
He's
good.
going to be up there with Hans Zimmer and the rest of the greats
I
because
really enjoyed it.
that soundtrack was incredible.
Yeah, baller. Definitely added to the movie.
Man, if that guy doesn't win an Oscar this year for that score, I would be surprised for sure.
He doesn't
'Cause-
have much competition. Well, let's
True.
put that out there.
True.
A and B, he should because it was dope. It was very good. That's one of
Yeah,
my main
definitely
takeaways
one of my
from that
favorite
movie.
parts of the movie for
Yeah.
sure.
I thought it was a great movie, man. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
the acting
I mean,
was good in it. I liked
I thought it was
cast.
great. The only thing was I could not for the life of me follow that fucking storyline because I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? To the point where it did kind of take away a little bit from the movie because I'm in my head thinking and trying to figure things out instead of it just being more,
Yeah.
this is what's up. This is how this works.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen.
And it is one of those movies, it warrants a second viewing for sure. Like knowing what I know
does.
now going into this, I feel like I could definitely start making more sense of what the fuck is going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt.
I definitely want to watch this one again at some point.
Yeah, definitely. This was it's a Christopher Nolan one. Like I get why he all year long was like, no, go to the goddamn theater and see this movie. Like I still would, like I probably still would. Like if the theater when it opens here in a few days, if it's showing Tenet,
Bada boom.
I'd probably go see it in theaters. Just it definitely is a movie made for that. I agree with all the people who have complained about the dialogue being hard to hear because everything else is so fucking loud.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
It's like
Yeah.
definitely word. I agree.
Mhm.
That was something that I was like, yeah, maybe on that second viewing, I'll throw on the subtitles. I underestimated the internet, and
They're right. They're right.
yeah,
Sometimes they're right. Hey,
they were right.
sometimes they're right.
They were right. They were right.
Sometimes.
So what's it going to be for you?
For a score, I'm
Yeah.
settling on 7.5 of this movie. I think the things that hurt it, like you said, was the inability to hear some of the dialogue in the soundtrack, or not the soundtrack, but the with the soundtrack going. It's baller. I
Yeah.
love it, but sometimes the dialogue is hard to hear and this hard to follow, man.
Mhm.
If it was a little bit easier, even to leave the reveals for the end, if it was just
Yeah.
a little bit easier to follow, it would have been a little bit higher. But 7.5, great action. Like I said, very compelling acting from everybody
Oh,
involved. Got
absolutely.
me hyped to see Robert Patterson as a Bruce Wayne, with him wearing all them suits and shit
Mhm.
in this movie. So I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I like I said earlier, like I'm pretty sure I watched a good movie. It was just confusing as fuck, and because of that, I got to agree with you on a 7.5. And
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we'll have to come back to this someday. Like after we've seen it a second time, maybe we'll have
Up
different.
the score. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have different feelings on it. Maybe it's one of those things that once we gestate on it, maybe it's a masterpiece.
Have to look into it. Yeah.
It's
I want to look.
ambitious. That's for
Yeah.
goddamn sure.
I definitely want to look into it more, figure out some stuff I'm confused on,
Hmm.
and then watch it a second time.
I have to do a deep dive.
A little deep dive. Phew. All
A
right,
deep
man. Well,
dive.
that's what's up, dude. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess like we got tons of shit that we're planning between the
Yeah.
two of us here to
2021.
blast at you.
There's
2021.
a lot coming from Chase and Shep, and
Yeah.
you can find it just about everywhere: Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. Some stuff's going to be exclusive to the podcast. Some stuff's going to be exclusive to YouTube. We're going to be a little bit of everywhere, but you can most certainly find all of it at chaseandshep.com.
ChaseandShep.com. Just holler at it, man.
Yeah.
Holler at it. See what's
Holler at
up.
us.
And holler at us. Yeah, man. Like I said,
Drop some comments. Leave us some
on
voice
Anchor, you can
messages.
send voice messages to us if you
Yeah.
like.
Drop
Yeah,
some voice
and
messages.
we'll answer them.
Ask us those big life questions, and we'll answer them for you.
We'll give you our opinion on them. Might be good, might be bad. Hey,
Hey,
you got to take what you got with a grain of salt every
Chase
day.
and Shep Show, movies, music, big life questions. So hit us with
Right.
those big life questions.
And whatever else we want. So we're going to hit you with it. We'll see
That's
y'all
right.
soon.
Later.
Peace and much love.